Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Popcorn Watchlist podcast, where we discuss and celebrate some of our favorites in TV and film. I am your host, Xavier, and I still have the distinct pleasure of going through our summer blockbuster watch list series for 2025. This time around, we're going to kind of switch it up a little bit. We've been doing a lot of like the big tentpole action franchise movies, but we're going to actually pivot over to something a little bit freaky, a little scary. It's a movie that I heard about only, about maybe 7 months ago, and I was very excited because the director had done one of the other movies, recent horror movies I really enjoyed, Barbarian. So Zach Kreger is back making another horror movie, from coming back from older comedy chops, now going into horror. And now he comes out with a second movie, bringing out really, brandishing his new movie entitled Weapons. See what I did there? Yeah, brandish his weapons. Pretty great. All right, I'll see myself out. All right, Anthony, it's all yours.
Okay. Well, hello there, everybody.
Nah. So, as you know, I have my fellow Popcorn Watchlist panelists here with me. Got Anthony, Danny, and Zach. And for it being a bit of a different change of pace, I'm actually really excited to talk about this movie because all of our listeners know I'm normally not a big go out there horror fan, but I was really intrigued by this because I really enjoyed Barbarian so much. So, going right into it, it's great to know going there pretty much blind. I think we all went in kind of blind, not really knowing too much except what was like in that main trailer. But yeah, so far some pretty cool stuff. A pretty stacked cast if you kind of think about it. You got Julia Garner, Josh Brolin, Alden Ehrenreich, Benedict Wong. See who else? Amy Madigan has also been in a lot of like a kind of other like low key good acting stuff, but who's also in this movie? Funny enough, is
you had Justin Long, who was
yeah.
also in Barbarian.
Thank you. Yeah, they're good friends. Anthony was telling. I think I'm stealing Anthony's thunder here, but apparently Zach Kreger and Justin Long are good friends.
Oh, and the actress that played his wife, which she's been on like well for
Whose wife?
any like anyone our age listening, she was in the fourth Halloween Town movie. If you guys remember that one.
Wow.
And said anyone our age.
Whose wife are you talking about?
Justin Long's character's wife.
Oh, okay.
That actress.
Oh, yes. Okay,
and she was
actually, yeah. When she popped up, I was like, "Oh, I haven't seen her in a while in any movie."
Yeah,
in a
me
while.
neither. I was like, wait, is that her? Like, she looked older. Like, she looked like she had aged, and I was like, I'm like, oh my god, it's her. She's from Halloween, the fourth one.
I think Zach also turned to me, and he was
age,
telling me,
I think she's probably your age, Zach, or maybe a little bit older. Sarah Paxton.
Melissa Ponzio.
No, Sarah Paxton.
Sarah Paxton, yeah, it was Sarah Paxton.
And then she was also in this movie called
like
H2O.
one of the mermaid ones. Yeah,
H2O. I never saw it. Or
Aquamarine.
Wait, what?
H2O or Aquamarine?
Oh, could it be Aquamarine? I don't even remember.
H2O is the Halloween movie.
It was Aquamarine. Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, H2O was H2O was it's something else. But no, it's not that movie you're thinking of, Anthony. It's an actual like it's a mermaid movie, but it's not the mermaid movie I was thinking of. Or is it a show? Is it a show?
Yeah, okay.
I don't know. It's something.
Do you mean the Disney Channel mermaid movie?
13th Year?
Yeah, that's a different one.
Yeah, that's a different one.
I like that one growing up.
Yeah. But also
Aquamarine. Sorry, Aquamarine.
Paul's wife. Paul's wife, she's like a character actress in a whole bunch of other things. I think she showed up, I think, a couple times in Abbott Elementary, I think in the like as part of like the
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. She's Paul Scheer's wife, June Diane Raphael.
That makes sense now. That's why like she's in that same circle of people. But I think before we move on to the actual like good stuff is, um, we'll talk about it later, but Carrie Christopher playing Alex, the kid, the only like kind of like survivor of the whole like disappearance of his class. That kid did a really good job. Like, uh, really sold a lot of the stuff that was happening to him and to this character like really well.
Agree.
Yeah, really good.
Before we go any further,
But
we should say that we're gonna go full spoilers because I think this is it's hard to talk about this movie without spoiling it. So if you don't want to know anything about this movie and you're listening to this, I would just stop now and then go watch it and then come back. And if you don't care, then let's continue.
yeah, thank you for that, Anthony. Nice little advisory. We will be going into spoilers. You know, a lot of times with horror films, it's best not to be spoiled. I think because a lot of like the like fun jumps, the scares, the twists and the turns, I think really help sell things to really help kind of keep the tension and keep what's going on happening. So we don't want to spoil that. But yeah, going right into it. The movie is basically about um, some freak incident that happens at literally 2:17 in the morning, where a whole bunch of these elementary school kids just break out of their houses and just run away and disappear. And the only person that comes in the next day is a little boy named Alex, and Alex is in hi- Alex's class is administered by a teacher named Justine. And so there's all these questions from the town, like why is it just that class? Why is it still just a teacher still there? Um, what is people want answers. This is a unexplained like random awful thing going on, and what we get is a series of interconnected stories told over a span of a few days, and like what the movie was broken up into I think like 6 chapters to help realize and understand more of what's really happening. And it's a really well put together movie. Like there's a lot of the mystery around it is still there of like why did these kids do the things they did, and more and more finds out. You kind of understand everything, and everything kind of comes to a head. So it's great. It's an original movie that came out. Like it's its own new thing. It's not like I mentioned earlier, not like a franchise thing. It but so far like it's making that cash. Like how much did it make, Danny?
Yeah, at least opening weekend domestically, it's made 42 million,
Yeah,
which
that
is
is
pretty
impressive.
good for a horror movie.
Nice.
In the summer.
Rated R original movie.
Yeah,
Yeah, in the summer. Yeah. It's a
it's
new
definitely gotten
line.
a lot of buzz though, for sure. Like just social media, like reviews, everything. Like
Yeah, when
uh,
people start memeing it out like in like a you have to watch the movie to get it kind of thing, that's when it's hey, like we get this. Like this is some pretty cool, like this is a movie that's special in a way that people are going to pick up on it, but still not just do it for the shits and giggles. It's for the actual like hey, this movie's good.
I'm sure people are gonna meme out the run and just to creep people out, whoever has seen the movie.
Oh, this
And
Halloween is going to be out of
yeah,
hand.
this Halloween's gonna be fun.
Yeah. This movie, yeah, I hope so. Yeah, that's out of hand. Like we won't go over like chapter by chapter everything that kind of happens, but these are people that are looking for answers in their own ways, and I think the acting is really strong. The writing of like the different scenarios and everything is pretty interesting. There's a bit of comedy in the movie too. Like that was very surprised that all the stuff with James, like at first you think this guy's just like some tweaked out meth head, but it's like kind of strangely endearing, even though he's like trying to break into people's cars to grab stuff to sell to the pawn shop. Like you're still kind of like I don't know, like low key. I was kind of like I hope he gets okay. He's out here trying to get a job still. So that I don't know that was cool. Like that was what chapter 4, but yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think
Um,
that's where
yeah.
most of the comedy was. I mean, there were like funny parts also thrown in there in the other like chapters, but that one I think was by far where a lot of the comedy was.
Like
Well,
especially with like the needles and like
my God, every
trying
time.
not to
Every
get
time he
stabbed.
with the when he was with the cop.
Do you have AIDS? Yeah, with Paul. Like, do you have AIDS? Like, like, and it's funny because we're introduced to Paul at first, and like, oh, like he's this guy trying to check up on Justine, and she's going through a hard time because the basically like half the town is trying to kill her. Somebody spray paints witch on her car, and she's getting harassed at her door, and like again, like we're introduced to Julia Garner's character, kind of just going through it all, and just like I think I still need to figure out stuff. Let me try to talk to Alex. And, Marcus, who's played by Benedict Wong, the principal, he's just trying to like, nope, out of the question. Don't do any of this stuff. Don't do like, you need to step away. If you need to stay away from things too, like that's all right. But yeah, it's like some of her stuff I thought was really funny. Like when she's at the liquor store and then she's getting stalked by Paul's wife. Like at first I was scared. I was like, oh crap, it's one of these like possessed people again. And then she's just like, that's just the whole thing because like, oh, you made him drink again. He was sober, and she kind of like beating her up in the thing. So it was like kind of funny because it was like, oh, it's not that situation. It's not so bad. But still kind of like a little messed up. That's what that's what humor kind of is, right? It's just the whole subversion of what your expectations are.
Well, I
Yeah.
don't know if I ever felt that way, like what you were saying about like, oh, you it has you thinking that it was one of the like possessed people. I thought it was maybe someone coming after her from like
Oh
the
yeah,
school.
Like
yeah.
the
It's
school,
like,
yeah.
oh, it's just someone from the school. Like, damn, she's gonna get beat up by one of the parents. And then it's like, no, it's an angry wife
Yeah.
with the other woman. Like, did she like poured like vodka or something on her? That
Yeah.
whole thing.
Yeah.
Like poured everything.
Yeah. So it's kind of like it's that was one of those. It's like, damn, she's going all in, but also, go, you do you, miss. But um, yeah, like I think like it's we got if we go into some of like the main key things, I think that were like kind of spooky to me. Were like all the people's different dreams, like that kind of freaked me out. Like Justine's dream, and then like Archer's
Yeah.
dream of him
They
like
were
trying to find
weird.
it. That was nuts.
They were weird and didn't really make sense.
But like they saw like at first I kept looking at Anthony. I was like, why is there a clown now? Oh my god,
Yeah.
I was freaking out.
And I still
Uh,
don't understand why she was in their dreams.
yeah,
Kind of weird.
Also when she was in the middle of the field.
Right. When
when
the
Paul,
drug
oh
addict
sorry,
Yeah.
was running
James
away.
is trying to run away. Yeah.
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 Oh, I freaked out. I was just like,
Yeah.
what
I was
the
like,
hell is that?
what is that?
I thought it was like like an it scenario where it's
Yeah.
just like Pennywise like I'm over here, and then like no I'm not. Like yeah,
It's mom.
jeez, yeah, it's mom basically. Yeah, because Aunt Gladys is out here like trying to like hide the fact that she's like has it looked like she almost had every form of cancer. Like it just everything was just like all
All
up
in
in
one.
her group. Yeah. She had like the cancer cocktail. But then yeah, like that was nuts. But yeah, like Justine's dreams were kind of trippy. Archer's was kind of trippy too, but he was also kind of getting the whole like, hey, where did the kids run to specifically? Like, and he started like getting the map and triangulating. It was nice to see also that like with the beginning, at least with Justine and Archer, how this disappearance has affected them personally. Especially like Archer, where like he's just not with it at work, like he's just kind of all over the place, and like, you can understand that. Like he's lost his kid.
What was up with the seeing the gun above his house with the time with the 217?
Yeah, that didn't make any
Oh
sense.
yeah, it's just
Yeah.
like, hey, it's 217
But that was
gun.
part of the dream, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
part of
that's all
his
his
dream. I
dream.
was like, I maybe it was trying to be like, it was like him imagining, oh, like maybe like my kid got shot like at the school or something. I don't know. what they were trying to evoke there. And then with the time, it's like it was just like a weird placement. It was like the time was like right on top of the gun, and so just like I don't know what they're trying to signify here. So
I
it
mean,
just made it
yeah,
extra weird because it was just like a weird dream.
yeah.
Uh,
I think like I kind of got a weird feeling. I guess like how I got a weird feeling from like not weird feeling because like there's a certain themes I got from Barbarian. I think there's a certain theme I got from this movie too, and you guys can like chime in or think I'm just like an outlier. But like given the fact that like basically like almost the entire like class of kids is just gone and it like out of nowhere, just like without really an explanation for anything. It's kind of like it's sort of like if something really bad happens in life and like sort of like leftovers. Like when people just disappear out of nowhere, people are like, why do these people do this? Why is this happening? And like there's got to be a reason. It's kind of just like sometimes it's sort of like a strange metaphor for just like bad stuff happens and there's not really an explanation, or the explanation isn't as like this massive like, oh, like all these interconnected things together. It's like we find out later in the movie that like why the time of 217 was so important. It's just because Aunt Gladys like, oh, that's why I finally got to finish my witchcraft time. Like she could have done it like at 4:15 in the morning, or you know 1:48. It's just completely random. Like that just happened just because it was the time was not really significant. It was just random. Like, hey, that's when
but
I finished.
but the director said that was also just like a nod to Stephen King for The Shining.
Oh, really? That's
Yeah,
cool. I didn't know that either.
because supposedly what was the room number? The main room number in The Shining? I think it was like 230 something, 234
No, it
maybe.
might be 217 as well.
No. So in the actual place that they shot
237.
the movie in, yeah, 237. In the actual place that they shot the movie in, the room was 217, but I think the owners of the place were like, but we don't want people to watch this movie and like see this room number and then not want to stay at this room
Oh
at our
no. So
hotel.
okay.
So they purposely made them change the number because that number doesn't exist in that hotel.
Yeah. Actually, so okay, I stand corrected or sit corrected in my fancy chair. Um, so 217 was the room in the novel of
Oh,
The
Yeah, in the
okay.
Shining.
book,
Not
but
the
the
movie.
movie was 237. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
I guess
makes
in
Got
sense.
the
it.
book, obviously, it's a fictional hotel. Where in in the movie, they filmed at an actual hotel that people can go and stay at.
Correct.
Correct.
So that's
Yeah.
why they
You don't
had to
want to
do it
stay
that
at the
way.
Overlook? Great. Nah, but anyway, the yeah, like just overall, like I love the way the movie was structured. How like we got all these different things. Like I forgot, was it like especially at the end of Justine's chapter where it's just like, okay, yeah, it's kind of sad and kind of strange. It's a strange happening, and then like Justine's trying to like camp out in front of Alex's house, and then like we get the first time of just like, oh shit, this is really freaky right now. Where Alex is like, yeah, obviously we now know is like his possessed and controlled mom, like just walks out, like just straight up, like marches out there with like the scissors, and you're like, oh crap, like
Oh,
she's
with the
dead.
car
But like
scene. Yeah.
but like the weirdest march out. Like I don't know what was up with that. The way she
The
was
walk.
walking out the door, but
It's so unsettling,
it
dude.
was like creepy and funny at the same time.
No, like the to me
um
it's just always unsettling. Like
And of course, leaving your door unlocked.
Well, the to me, the thing that was unsettling from the beginning of the movie was the way the door opened. Like the
Oh
way
yeah.
Alex's house door opened, it was always pitch black. You would never see anybody open it. And it was always like a weird cadence to it. It was like a kind of like it started off slow and then it would like pull quickly. I don't
oh
know. It was just
yeah.
always weird. It was always weird. And then they show it multiple times and it's creepy every time because you're like, what's gonna come out this time or what's gonna come out like maybe something's actually gonna come out from the darkness, and in that scene it did. It was
Yeah, because we were
you don't even know who
conditioned.
that is at that point, but we
Yeah,
later find out that that's the Alex's mom.
yeah, like we were conditioned to see that like nothing's coming out of the house, and it's just Alex going in. And then also Justine was trying to like sneak in through the back, and then she saw just like the two, she saw the parents just like sitting on the couch. Just that was also hella
Yeah.
unsettling. Like there's some good like jump scares in the movie, but like also this like overall like air of just like really freaky stuff. And then there's like freaky
And
stuff
then
that happens like in
the
broad daylight too. Like it's
well, and the
nuts.
lady getting into her car while she's sleeping. Like
That was nuts.
once you see her walk past her car, and you're like, "Where's she going?" And then you just hear the door open, and everyone in the audience is like,
Well, the trunk,
why are her
yeah.
doors unlocked?"
Yeah, no, or like she got into the trunk. Like I don't know. I was like,
No, her
I think
door
we
was
looked at
unlocked.
it. We
I was
looked at
just
each
like,
other and we're like,
"Oh
what?
my god!"
No,
Like
it sounded like
horror
the
trope
trunk because I
101.
feel like the doors were locked because didn't she try to open up the driver door?
No, she just like walked by and like stayed there for a little bit,
She
and then
stood
what?
there and then
Yeah,
walked behind
and
the
then
door,
just
which
walked
made it even
around.
Could
worse.
have
Right.
sworn, yeah, I
It was
could have
just
sworn she
creepy.
tried to unlock it or open it, but when she got in, it was definitely the trunk door.
Because her arm came in from the back. Yeah,
Because
I
yeah,
think
because
Zach's right.
she it took her a while to walk to the like when she left the driver door. It took a while before we heard the
Yeah,
a
it
door
was
open. I
the
think it was
back
the trunk.
seat door on the other side.
Oh, that I don't
That's what I took
know.
it as. I
Yeah.
took it as the
How's
back
she gonna
seat, but
get in
the
through the
opposite
trunk?
side.
Like that would have made way more noise.
What? Yeah, what car did? Because she had a.
It
Did
was
she
like a
drive an
sedan. It was
SUV? It
like
was like a Rav Four, right?
yeah, it was kind of like a normal car. It
It
wasn't
looked like a
anything
Rav Four, so
crazy.
you have a
Probably.
big trunk back there, so I think you could do it. Anyway, I think like we're getting too into weeds with the
Well,
specifics.
What
yeah,
other
and
It
then
was
cars did she have?
unsettling as all
it's
get
also
out.
the first time you see kind of like the rules of like how things work in this movie, because then this person has uses the scissors to cut a part of her hair, and then we find out what that is later.
That's the first time we see something with the hair, right?
Or
Yeah.
like with something personal. Yeah, that's the whole idea. We see that with Archer, that was the whole thing where like he's trying to confront Justine at the gas station, and then that's where like bug-eyed possessed Marcus jumps over, like tries to like attack Justine, and Archer is trying to stop, and then it cuts, and that's when we go back to Paul, and then we realize Paul's maybe not so much of the saint that he was, not saint, but like he's not like as like the sweet caring guy as he kind of was. Like he's kind of just like
Yeah,
middling about.
he lied about being together with his wife.
Yeah, he even said no, like no, we're not together when they actually are. Yeah, so you're like, oh, Paul's kind of that dude, but he's still. Fun story. The captain, I think, is his like father-in-law, right?
Yeah.
I think if I'm not mistaken, um, the captain is played by Toby Huss, and
Hmm.
this is a fun little side fact. He took over for the voice of one of the characters in King of the Hill after the actor died. May have been about 10 years ago or 12 years ago. But I was I think he was also, I think, originally like uh Hank's dad. I don't know. You guys gotta watch King of the Hill. It's great. But yeah, he was a few different characters on that show too. So I was like, damn, I was like, holy crap, I'm very surprised about that. So that was fun to see as a surprise. But anyway, like, and you saw like he was trying to cover him up for the whole like, oh, I had this thing happen. And he's like, all right, well, you knocked the guy out when you uh arrested him for trespassing or whatever. So he's just like, oh, you have to stay low, and like Paul's out here assaulting people because he's afraid you got hit with a needle or something like that. But yeah, like that's the whole thing where he like and because of that, I think like Paul's connections kind of like take it over to where like he has his whole like terrible day through the office, and this the whole thing still trying to find like Archer's in the police station, and then he sees the meth head that he stopped off before try to come back, And then that's where they have their whole little like chase after. I love that. He's like, I told you to stay away.
Just see him like get all crazy seeing the guy come up.
He
I
got so heated. Dude. He's
It
just
was
like,
so
what are you doing
funny.
here? Yeah. Because he thought he's coming to the station. He thought like, oh snap, he's gonna
to
rat on me.
report that, yeah.
Yeah. So that was nuts. Still kind of freaky because like at that point there's still like some other kind of like freaky stuff going on. Um, and the same tweaked out guy that we saw like, oh, that guy was just trying like whatever. Uh, we end up seeing again. I mentioned before, like James's whole chapter is like that's where like we get more like the swerve into comedy stuff, and then that who would have thunk that the house he goes to try to rob. Oh my god, dude, that whole sequence, man. I don't know. What did you guys think about that? When he broke into Alex's house and was just like rummaging about like it was all good?
think it was like his whole sequence was like you said earlier, like it was funnier than all the others because it was just like a lot of nonsense. But yeah, I don't know, he's going through this house where it's clearly some weird stuff is happening and he gets weirded out, but then he's like, all right, let me just steal a bunch of their crap. Like, I don't know why he wouldn't just run out of that place. Um, but yeah, it was funny and then weird at the same time.
Yeah, but also
I feel like that's a
revealing.
lot of this movie. Yeah,
Yeah, it
But
was fun, weird, but also it's unsettling, fun, weird, and then hella creepy, and then like
yeah, and
flat out
it's
like straight horror again.
yeah, and I think this is the section of the movie where you get one of the main reveals of the movie because he doesn't he see everything in the basement.
He goes down to the basement.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah, he sees the kids there.
yeah. Don't know why he would be there, but
I mean he's there because maybe there's
just
some good
snooping
stuff
around.
to snoop around and then steal. Yeah, then he saw the kids and he freaked out and he's like, "Oh crap, I gotta go!" And then just like he runs out of the house, but then he's like, "Wait, I know that those kids have a reward." So then he goes out and like try to go to the thing, and then that's where the whole situation we talked about with Paul and like the freaky dreams are like in the forest of Gladys still being around there, and
Well, so
uh
maybe she saw that he broke in and she followed him into the fort. I don't know. That's the only explanation I could think of because otherwise, is she just hanging out there? And then it just so happens that he's like living in one of the like tents in the forest and she's there.
I think she'd have to. You would think maybe she'd have to follow him, but yeah, like that whole thing. We get the comedy with the other needles and like him getting stabbed with
Yeah.
the needle in the cheek, dude, in the freaking cheek. I think at the theater that we were in, Anthony and I, like, I think that was one of the more like, whoa, like wilder moments because it's like he just got stabbed with a needle in the face.
Three of them. It was three of them.
Oh yeah, it was three.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. I remember the three little dots. Yeah, that's insane.
And then on the other hand, you have the mom and dad getting stabbed with forks, like repeatedly for a couple minutes in front of the kid.
No, it was like seconds. Yeah, that was just like a stop. I mean, that was nuts because yeah, like another thing that was like explaining the whole like the reason how like these people are
She
basically
could
like human
control, yeah.
weapons. Yeah, they're human weapons. Name of the movie. Human weapons for Gladys to control, just to like find ways to like. I don't know. I got the idea that she's trying to do also trying to like stay alive, like the Bee Gees, but do
Yeah, she somehow can. I guess
siphoning
like
their
the more
life force.
people, yeah, the more people she can control, she also like takes away their life and gives it to her. But it guess it wasn't working. That's what she was saying. Like it didn't getting controlling Alex's parents wasn't enough because she
Well, she
clearly
needed
was.
like younger, healthier
Yeah, because she was
kids.
still, very sick and losing most of her hair, and
Yeah, and that was the
even
whole
that
thing.
one
Because
scene. Yeah, that
yeah,
one scene where like Alex sees her in her room and she's all like on the floor, like, "Oh, I need help." Like, yeah,
yeah, because even
she did not look good.
when she first got to uh Alex's house, and like she's like in the bed, just kind of still just just like zonked out, but kind of still like spaced out, but be able to like make eye contact. Like that was nuts. To see all that, but I think
Help!
like
I've
yeah, again,
fallen and I can't get up.
pretty much she needed life alert. But
How did
no,
you
she had.
guys how did you guys feel about when they revealed where the kids were? Because to me, I felt like the movie was very, very interesting, very engrossing. Like I was in it, and we don't even realize it. The movie's 2 hours, and I think they show you that midway through the movie. So you've watched this movie for an hour, and then it's that scene where um he goes into the basement and sees the kids. So how do you feel the movie was after that? Like, do you think maybe they showed that too early? That they did that reveal too early, or it was just the right time? Because to me, I felt like maybe they should have waited a little longer, because then it was like I feel like there were a lot of scenes after that that was kind of like, I don't know. It felt more like catch up. Like the pace kind of got a little quicker versus like the slower pace at the beginning, trying to piece together and figure
It
everything out.
maybe if they would have like shown a snippet of something else instead, um, but not fully kind of reveal that they were all there. And I think they should have done the reveal when like the dad gets there. Um, maybe that would have
Which dad?
worked more. Josh Brolin's
Archer.
character,
Oh,
Archer.
okay, yeah.
Like when he would have got there, like that's when you get the reveal that they're down there. Like, but maybe that would have been too late
Yeah,
into
yeah.
the
I
movie.
mean, he doesn't get there, or at least they don't show that section until the end of the movie, when
Yeah, so
both
like
him
somewhere in
and Justine are in the
between.
house.
So I have a, I don't know if Zach might agree with me, but like I can kind of like I didn't mind it because there were still a whole bunch of other unknowns. Like it was a point where we still like, oh snap, is Alex the one in charge of all this stuff? Is Alex like, was did Alex set all this up to, because we know it wasn't Justine. It's like, so is it really something where like it's the kid that's in charge of all this stuff, like going and creating and controlling all of this? Like I think there was still more, which is why it's just like, oh man. And like the only person who knows it right now is the cracked out dude. And then like we know that we saw that like, oh, the whole idea where Paul goes into the house to try to investigate, and then we see that Paul got, and then they drag James back into the house, and you're like, damn, something else is going on in there. So is it Alex? Is it something else? And I think that was still more of like that happening to then build up to where we get Marcus's chapter. We finally realize that there's this unknown factor in Gladys, which if I were him, immediately would have set off red flags for me. I would have been like, the heck? It's like, oh, I need
Yeah,
to
don't come
do a
inside.
welfare check. Yeah, I would be like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, okay, no, that's fine. And then like immediately like find out who this lady is, call the cops. Like,
How
this is
did you
bad.
know where I lived?
Yeah, I would have immediately
Right.
been like, no. Like,
Well,
well,
I mean,
I was like, do not, yeah.
he didn't want her to go in. It was his husband or partner that
Yeah.
wanted. That was like, oh
Yeah.
no, just let her in. And he's like, what are you
And was
doing?
she a vampire? Because it's like, you're in now. Like, I invited you in. You can come in now.
Sinners Part 2.
Sinners too.
Sinners too. Yeah. Yeah.
I for the most part agree, because I like with UX, because I think having it revealed where the kids were, with still some questions about how they got there,
Why the kids were.
and
Yeah, exactly.
so revealing it about halfway through the movie, and using what's his name, Paul, right?
James, the meth head.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay, so
Yeah,
Paul's the cop, right?
Paul's the cop. Yeah, so
Okay.
using Paul and James. Yeah, you could do that.
So then James, when having him do that, like, having most of his story being like this comic relief, and then this like, oh shit moment where it's like, oh, these are the kids. Now we're gonna be spending the rest of the movie figuring out then how they got there. Like, all that I can agree with, but then also I would have been okay if we found out all of this stuff during um Alex's chapter, like which is the last part of the movie. Although I feel like it would have all been like a huge like story dump or like
A big
uh
info dump, you mean?
yeah like yeah info dump with like okay, so we're getting all of like how this happened, where they went, how they got there, all within a span of like whatever however long the story, that part of the story was, like 15-20 minutes. Actually no, maybe a little bit longer. But I also feel like that wouldn't have worked because of that. I still feel like we would have needed what we got with uh the Marcus chapter, with finding out that this woman is a witch, or she practices like some kind of voodoo.
Yeah,
um
it's like some type of wild witchcraft, like blood magic sorcery stuff.
and then also um like what you said, like thinking that Alex has something to do with it. Not that I ever thought it was him. I definitely thought someone that he knows was doing something like this. But
Yeah,
not him
like at
himself.
least it's like it's being pointed towards Alex. They're like, okay, like there's something else up with Alex, so we need to
Yeah,
see more what's going on.
yeah,
But yeah,
that's
like
what I
I
was
want
kind
to,
of
yeah,
getting
Even
the
with
point.
them like revealing it throughout the movie, I'm just like, where are the cops? Like, is nobody investigating this house, or is like nobody looking at like checking
Yeah,
on this kid? They only had that one scene where I think
the
it was the
aunt was
FBI.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and the aunt had to clean everything up. But it's like they're not gonna do that more than once. Like check on this kid who's by
kid.
himself with a
Yeah,
random aunt that nobody knows.
and no
So the
one at
whole
the
time I was just
school
like,
asks or anything. Like,
yeah, that was like one of the, at least to me, like the glaring kind of like holes. I'm like, it just seems kind of odd that this kid was doing all this by himself for like a month.
also when like she sent out the kids to go hide somewhere else during that time.
Yeah, where?
She's like, "Go run and go hide."
Probably in the forest. She probably told him to go in the forest.
Yeah.
But yeah, like so it's not weird that this kid's buying all this soup by himself, food. Yeah, when you start like thinking of the all the little things, like so everyone that's being controlled by her, like I know she made Alex feed everybody, but it's like did did she make him like shower everybody, or did they have to go to the bathroom? Like how does that even work? But whatever, maybe that's too much. That's too many questions to ask for.
I don't think they showered all. I think they all just stink and reek, or like, yeah,
They all
I
just
think that's just it.
crapped on each other.
Yeah, probably.
But anyways, yeah, it was just mainly for me. The thing was just like I just find it hard to believe that there wasn't other sets of cops like with this kid to not be able to see that there's some weird stuff going on.
We're
Like
investigating all
the
possible
Like
leads.
it
and then
just takes
also
it
when
takes the teacher like one time to follow him and see that like his house is very weird.
yeah. Well,
Like
there was one scene too
They're very private
where
people.
James noticed that there was a bunch of newspapers in front of the
yeah,
house.
because he was already breaking in. He was already
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna go here, and then that's when he starts seeing all the weird stuff.
Yeah. And
And I
then
guess the window at the very top is open.
yeah, and then when they the other funny part is when he's just stuck in the cop car for like the whole night.
Oh my god,
and
yeah, because like
Yeah.
and
he took my he took my reward.
yeah, and then Paul just comes in now, him walking all weird and you know, coming up just to grab him and take him
Yeah,
in.
like we saw that and we're like, oh, it's happening. Like that's that time where you see that now. You're like, oh, okay, that's it. Like this guy's been turned. He's now a weapon. But yeah, like speaking of weapons, like we have to talk about the whole Gladys situation with Marcus. Like that was nuts. Like the
Yeah.
whole, yeah, like that was out of hand. Like, oh,
Not
I need
cool.
a bowl of water. I was like, oh, here we go. Like
He's like,
something
a
freaky
bowl?
happening.
She's like, yes, I'd like to
Drink water.
drink out of the bowl.
Yeah, I take my water in a bowl. That's what or something like that. I was like, when someone says something like that, I'm like, yeah, no. Like, I'm gonna need you to get the heck out of here. Like, no.
Dude, her wig and
Yeah,
like
and her makeup,
her makeup
she
is
looked so
just so.
ridiculous.
I forgot if it was The Simpsons or something when Homer was like trying to make a gun to make to create like a makeup blast, and he hits Marge with it, and she looks like Krusty, like the clown. That's what she looked like. Like it's just like a gun shot out like a pattern of makeup. That freaked me to all get out. Like it was more unsettling than when she was just without any type of makeup and a wig, and where she just where
Yeah,
she looked
it
at her
just looked
sickest.
worse.
Yeah, like it freaked me out more than that. Like that was nuts, dude. Um, yeah, like her whole like demeanor, like you already knew. It was like, okay, this is the wild card. This is definitely someone that's going on, and the fact of how she just immediately like turned Marcus into that weapon, killed his poor partner, and then just like sent her to go kill Justine. Like that was insane. And again, like he Naruto runs throughout the entire thing with his crazy bug eyes. Like shout out to I don't know
Well,
if that was like a mask or is that a whole bunch of makeup on Benedict Wong, but good
that
for
whole
him.
that whole sequence when you're just watching him run through the whole town.
Mhm. Well,
Yeah,
what I didn't get was, so when she is controlling Marcus in the house, why was he spitting up like oil? Like, what is that? Like
yeah, that was
vomiting
weird.
I guess
oil.
just some sort of like
It's
when
just
you're
like
possessed, like they
nasty,
just
weird
yeah
imagery that a lot of horror movies like to do for
When
no
yeah
reason.
someone is like possessed or controlled, yeah, maybe I
yeah.
guess so. Yeah,
It's like they're
It's a
spilling out their
staple in
dark
every horror
energy.
yeah,
movie.
yeah. I
Yeah,
didn't
they did
ask.
it
I didn't
in It
like.
as well, and I was like,
Yeah,
why? Well, what is the point of this?
freaky. It's unsettling. Yeah, like I didn't kind of go too far into asking that. I was like, okay, like that's some more freaky stuff. Like, yeah, that's really freaky and kind of
Because
like
I
it's a little like
remember
exclamation mark.
they showed snippets of that in the trailer, but they didn't like show you who it was doing it. They were just showing it like it was someone spewing out liquid. So I thought for the trailer, maybe they painted it black so that they could like get away with showing it in the trailer without it just being like a bunch of blood. I thought it was gonna be blood in the movie,
Yeah, and
and
it's
then
just
it
like, oh,
wasn't.
it's
And I'm like,
clear it
wait, so
wasn't.
it's just straight up like oil? Like what is this?
Was that at in the gas station on Justine or on his partner? I
No,
forgot.
on his partner. Like
Okay,
he
yeah,
just
yeah.
Yeah, at home.
yeah, immediately like once he gets possessed and starts attacking his partner, he just like vomits that black goo, and then that's when he starts attacking him.
Yeah, you know what?
Headbutting
Like,
him.
it would have been a different color had they actually gone to town on that spread. That hot dog spread, man. It was like a
It would have been
charcuterie board of
yellow, it
just
would
a
have been
hot
red,
dog.
it would have been
Yeah,
No,
it's just
don't give me that image.
it
No.
would have been hot dogs and chips.
yeah, that would have made more sense because then he would like vomited all the chunks of hot dog that they ate.
Oh,
Exactly.
That would be funny. I wonder if that was an idea at first, and they're like, that would be
No,
too
dude.
nasty because then it
nah,
would be
Like,
actual
just
vomit.
black goo instead.
I mean,
Wait, nah, that's too
was that
much.
was that too much as opposed to like how they tried to get away from Marcus when like Marcus was chasing Justine in the convenience store, the gas station, which by the way, that gas station guy like did not immediately call the cops. Like what the
Yeah,
hell? Like that guy
No,
sucks.
he just goes, "Get out of here."
Yeah, I
it's
was
like
just like,
if you
dude,
could help me.
yeah, right? It was like, help me get him out. Like, what the hell,
Get out of
dude?
my
Like,
store.
yeah, it's like, stop fighting in here. I was like, no, dude, like that guy's clearly on drugs or something. Like, or like, no. So, yeah, dude. It was like, and then like him keep running, and I like how like obviously he's running. He's in like leisurely house clothes, but like after he bashed his husband's brains in with his own head, like his eyes are all bugged out, like that one. Like those scenes from Total Recall when there's no air and like everybody's eyes are all like out of their faces. That looked like that freaked me out. Like that's what a callback to. I would love to like pick Zach Krager's name, like brain of just like, hey, was this the expiration for that? Like, but like him continue to run. I like how they still showed his shoes. This was probably an ad for on Cloud Runners, like just the on brand, just hey, like if you're ever possessed to be a human weapon, you can run with great shoes.
It also reminded me a little bit of, I don't know if you guys saw Parasite.
Yes.
Um
Yes.
when he has like the bloody face and the eyes wide open, like that type of guy just running up to you. That looked very similar in Parasite.
Yeah, dude. But like he looked like obviously because he's like possessed, not there. Like he's obviously not with it. Like it's
Yeah.
just
Yeah, no,
it's
just
really
locked on.
it adds to the whole like tension and horror of just like, oh, like this guy's gone. Like and you can tell he was totally gone to the point where like again, Justine got in her car, tried to drive away, and Marcus like knows where she is because of the magic that Gladys uses. So it's just like, okay, I'm running and like I know where he is. And um yeah, apparently when you're a human weapon, you don't look both ways before you cross the road.
All the memes now coming out of like, hey, I lost my keys, or I don't know where my car is. Just have the kids start running.
Oh my god! Just for where are my keys? Just start running out. Like, oh man. And yeah, dude. Like, we're talking about like if they would have, vomited out like chunks of hot dogs and stuff. I don't know if that would have been worse than seeing this dude's like half his brains left out from the car crash. And that one lady's reaction, like that was some of the best
Just
acting ever.
traumatized.
Yeah, like that is amazing acting. Like that is incredible. Like it wasn't hammy, it wasn't over the top. That was like, yeah, this lady is now traumatized for life. Like the way she was screaming. Like I don't know if I think Anthony and I got that like idea when we were watching it, but yeah, that was
Yeah,
nuts.
like I mean, it was inevitable. We
Yeah.
saw it coming, but when it happened, you're just like, "Oh, geez," because that car was going fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
And
like you saw the body just disappear because he's running and then pop, gone.
The man, why did they have to do Marcus like that? So he gets like two of the most gruesome scenes in the movie
Yeah?
because he has to headbutt his partner to like Play-Doh, which was also nasty. They didn't show all of it, but they showed enough where you're like, oh,
There's a head cavity. Yeah, that thing was
ugh.
gone. Like where your nose is, and like that's just like skeleton. Like that
Kind of
was
looked
gone.
like actually, you know what? I'm not gonna say that because it might be spoilers for a game that somebody hasn't played yet.
Oh yeah.
Me or Danny?
Danny.
Danny.
Yeah, I think
But
Zach would
anyways,
know.
anyways,
Yeah, but
Wait,
I'll tell you
what?
later,
I'll
Zach.
text Zach. I'll text you. I'll text you. Keep
Okay,
going. But yeah,
okay.
but yeah,
But yeah,
like
he
that was
got
a wild
two
way to end
gruesome
that
scenes.
chapter. Yeah, yeah, he got the two really gruesome scenes, and then and Danny again from there. Like we talked about how like okay, like after that we get the swerve because then like the final chapter we see Alex and we're like, oh, here's what's going on because obviously
like everything
Gladys is the
starts
one doing
piecing
all this.
together.
It starts piecing together. How did you guys like that? Where like okay, it starts back like even back to where Gladys first shows up at home because you see Alex kind of sort of getting bullied, and I think it's weird because like like we got the idea, and I don't know if we ever saw a picture of it, but Anthony and I like we got the idea of like the kid that's bullying Alex is Archer's son.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I guess Danny, like going through that whole reveal, like how that came about, like how did like seeing Gladys first. You mentioned the fork stabbing, and then hold to her like you can't tell anybody this. Like that to me kind of like
Yeah,
when
like
like
she's
kids
very
are
like manipulative.
abusive. No,
Yeah.
it's abusive. Yeah, 100%.
And it's like, here, I could show you just a bit of what I could do.
Your
S
parents. Yeah,
yeah,
because
so
I'll hurt
don't.
people, anyone you love. I'll even do it to you. I was just like, oh
Yeah.
god, like that's awful. Like
And
again,
then, like,
that yeah.
they're like, "Oh, uh, I don't even think your mom's ever, like, seen her in a while," or, like, like, I feel like they were all just like, "Oh, she's just showing up."
Or like we need to help her. It's what my mom would have done because like the
Yeah,
mom had passed away. So like it's tough because a lot of the like you said the abusers and manipulators end up being family sometime a lot of times. So that's
yeah.
like another like aspect of this whole thing of just like man, this is sad.
But I think it worked well for this because you've already seen all the different perspectives and you're kinda like, you're slowly kinda piecing it together, but obviously you don't know the full story. but then you save like the biggest chunk for last, and seeing it from all the way through, like from the beginning through when they get taken, like they run away, and then you see like all the pieces.
Yeah, like when Justine and like Archer first get into the house. Obviously, the house is crazy pitch black dark, but we see like the figures in the background, and we're just like it's gonna
Yeah, like
happen. We're
don't
just
you
like,
see the
damn
guy
it.
in the corner?
There, it's pitch black. They will like we if we were there in that situation, it's pitch black. We wouldn't have seen.
That's me in the corner.
That's me. That's not you in the spotlight because there is no spotlight. REM.
And then it was interesting that they showed up like the whole like the salt thing, like, oh, don't trip over the salt.
Yeah, don't
Uh,
cross the salt. Like
yeah.
they not even
Don't
trip
step over
over.
the
Like he didn't
line.
even break
Yeah,
the
dude,
line of
just
salt. He just
yeah,
crossed
like
over it.
yeah, just don't step over it.
Yeah, that was nuts. And like how
I don't
yeah,
know how some of this stuff works. Like, how does she? Like, what spell does she have to do to say
she used
like, if
what
someone
the
walks over
She
this,
just
you go
thinks it.
crazy?
the bell that she was using. Like
Yeah,
I found
they really
myself.
only showed her do like 3 different, what do you call it, like seances. They showed the bell. They showed anytime she would wrap something on the stick and then
So
break
it
it.
would be like the hair or the
Uh-huh. And then
personal item, and then
yeah, and
break
then
the
it was
stick.
like the soup of personal items that she like mixed together.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
that's how she got all the kids. Yeah, but
mhm.
like there's still like the other things of just like the bell, like going people into like that kind of trance, like that. Like immediately felt like that's broken. Like you can just kind of show that up with anybody.
It's OP.
Yeah, it's OP, my dude. Like that needs
Um,
to get nerfed.
and kind of like after the second time we see her like break the stick with the hair, I was like, I know they only focused on this crazy wig because they're gonna use her hair.
Yes, correct. Yeah,
Like
they're gonna
towards the end, I
use.
was like, they're gonna have to.
Yeah, yeah. Like that was a smart move of because with all this manipulation, Alex is trying to look for ways to get out and escape. So he's like, okay, I know how this works. Let me use your freaky bramble blood tree, and then put all this
Yeah.
stuff, like
I mean,
all of it together, and then put it on you.
it was cool seeing how he was observing it all and like obviously learning
Yeah, he was also
what
piecing
she
it
would do.
together. Yeah, it
Yeah,
was the magic branch. It was that whatever plant that
That
she was
tree, yeah,
carrying.
yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it was
And it
cool
was
that he
like,
was able to then switch it and use it against her. And then that was
uh,
probably like the most hilarious part of the movie with
No, it
all the
was
kids
nuts too.
that
Like, yeah,
it
the
chased
was
her.
parents.
ridiculous.
Dude, okay, before we get to that part, like um, the parents were like kind of like freaking out and chasing Alex.
Oh
Justine's
yeah.
fighting Paul, like possessed Paul. Archer's like keeps kicking and throwing away like James, but he keeps coming back over and over and over again.
Oh my god,
But
when
that's
he kept getting up and like yelling.
yeah. Like after the first 2, I was like, okay, it did it like 3 more times. Like, you have to hit him
Yeah, it
harder if
kept
you want to keep
going.
him down because this guy's gonna keep coming back up.
Yeah, that was where it's infusing a lot more like the comedic aspects of it. But I was like, okay, this is nuts. And then like it got creepy dark because like like Justine's having to like fight off Paul, and then Archer goes down. He finds the basement. He's like, oh my god, the kids are here. And immediately I knew, I'm like, damn it,
How did
Gladys is
she
gonna be
get
hiding.
there? Hold on, how
Like
did she
she's
get there? She
distraction.
was
They're
l-
all getting beat up, and then
but
she's
she
like, I'm
was
gonna go
locked
in.
up in the room. That's why she had the parents up there, wasn't it? Isn't that like the parents were there
No,
to
because I think
protect her, or they were just there to
no,
protect the
Alex.
room with the
I think
plant?
yeah, they're I think to protect the room with the plant
So then,
because
what
she
was she
wasn't
doing
there
down
already.
there? Like, what shouldn't she be by the plant?
She was trying to prep everything to then like get out, but she saw that these people came in too soon, and then plans had to be
I
made.
laughed. I laughed when they showed her. She's like, yeah.
Like she was like still stuck. I'm like, ah, damn it! Like it wasn't scary. I was like, I chuckled. I was like, god damn it! Like
Yeah,
this is how we
well,
do this.
I think it at least if you weren't scared by that, I think it's because of like the rest of the scene before that. Like
Yeah, that
you were already
kind of
laughing
laughing.
at like the absurdity of what was going on. Like even though like the Alex's parents portion was scarier because that wasn't funny. It was just like them going crazy trying to kill him.
Yeah.
and even doing almost like a Shining type thing with like the mom's head through the door.
And like again, like it focused on him, but like there's nothing behind those eyes. Like that's really unsettling.
Yeah,
Almost like Attack on Titan. Like those the giant like Titan eyes is like not really there. Like yeah, it's really freaky.
very convenient that all the rooms were like connected. I didn't know that
that you
was.
could like walk through.
Yeah.
Lucky
He's
kid.
like, I'll have them come over here and then go around the room and then try to steal the plant.
And then
So it's like the branches of the plant that
when
have the
you break,
thorns, and then you use
yeah,
the thorns to poke yourself so that you
Yeah,
can like
to get the
control whatever.
blood
yeah,
and
then you
then
use the hair of that
to
person,
wrap it.
and then you finally then break the branch, and that's like the kill command, like
Yeah,
the
I guess.
breaking of the branch. And then that was great because finally, like Alex did it, and you're like, oh Gladys, your uppance has now come. And
And when she put it together, she's like, "Oh no."
She's like, oh no. She says, oh no,
Yeah,
multiple times in like the
yeah.
weirdest way. Oh no.
It was like
like
very
like
comedic.
I can't. No, it's unbelievable. No, and just and then you knew it this was gonna hit the fan. Like it was great because like these kids just start like just activating. Like they were activated and just
Breaking through the windows,
heat
just
seeking missiles, just like breaking through the wall and like in broad daylight too. Like that was the greatest. Like that whole final scene was awesome to me. Like
I like the one shot of like it was focused on that one kid chasing her, and it
Yeah,
was
like
a
right when they
decent
caught
amount
her.
of time, like through multiple houses.
and like through a family, like an actual family house. Like who the hell is
Yeah.
this lady? She's like like glasses running away, and then all the kids just break through. Like what is going on? It was like a kid version of Jumanji.
Yeah, it was like that whole moment wasn't scary at all because then even all the families also played it off as like a joke. They're like the guy cutting his grass. He's just like, "What the heck?" And then the
yeah.
families are like, "Are people running through our kitchen?" Like it was all very much like these
And
people were
then
just
you
oblivious
just
to
see
everything.
the old lady just running across and then like silence. And a couple seconds later you just see all the kids.
Yeah, like you see like the alleyways or whatever, like between the houses, and she's kind of
Yeah.
running through, and then like the pause, and then the kids, like all 17 other kids or whatever, like running through also. Yeah, that was
And
nuts.
all
And
the like for the kids to be running through all those houses, so all these houses are super close by and together. So that's I guess another thing to me where it's just like, so if all these people are this close, none of these people knew that the
This house
children
was weird.
if the house is weird and that the children like ran through there that one night and none of them have like ring
Security
doorbells.
footage
oh, they
that
Yeah, like
security
shows
footage.
so
Yeah,
yeah.
so to me that along with the like cops just like completely neglecting like following this kid, those are to me like the two kind of like plot holes. I'm like, I don't know about that. I feel like they kind of just don't want you to think about that, even though
I
it's
guess maybe if that house was just more secluded in the middle of kind of nowhere.
I think if you want to get really nitpicky, at least even from the night that the kids disappeared, like how did when they're possessed, how did they know how to unlock a door and open the door
no, oh, you mean like from their house?
from their houses
Yeah, yeah, they should have just ran through the wall
through the
like
door?
they did.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Well,
I guess because they're not
I guess
like
it's different because they
they're
didn't get
not in
like the
that
kill
kill
command.
mode.
Yeah, yeah, like breaking the stick is like the kill command, whereas she just rang the bell for them all to like come to her. So I mean, it was. I'll give them that one. Like I won't nitpick that one because to me that's more like a they were kind of like sleepwalking, and then Naruto running to sort of
But
Naruto
like
running because
And
they
but
had
and a
like a
their hands are like
triangle.
happy
to the
running.
sides.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
they're
they
like
were
to the sides.
like they weren't even leaning into actual Naruto run. Like they're just like running with like their arms out, like if they were trying to fly. Like that
Yeah,
freaked me out. Again,
yeah,
like
it's
a
just
human
weird.
weapon. Yeah,
Very, very unsettling, off-putting.
yeah. But was it unsettling and off? Okay, it kind of was, but it kind of wasn't because like I'm here clapping at the end of the movie when all these kids finally get to Gladys. I was like, that's right. Like you deserve this. Like how dare you do that to family? Like how do you're a terrible human being and you got what you deserve.
Vin Diesel approves.
Yeah. You can't do that to family. You don't abandon family. You don't abuse or take advantage of family.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
she got zombie, kind of like
she got Shaun of the Dead.
She she,
Shaun of the
she also
Dead.
got like
Oh,
pieces
yeah.
of like her arms and legs all torn off.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah, dude.
her limbs, yeah. And then
Yeah,
her like jaw split, or her head split down the jaw.
Oh
Ugh.
yeah,
yeah,
Ooh. That
yeah.
was
That
brutal.
was brutal. Yeah, I
that's
agree.
where that's where the hot dogs came back out.
Yeah,
Stop.
the hot dogs.
I did like that they showed though that because at that point of the story that like you see the full side of like Alex's side, and so it's after she gets the kids because she says, "Hey, I'm like dying. I need more," and that's why she asked for the kids. By the end of the movie, you do see that like she's growing more hair than earlier in the movie. So whatever she was doing with the kids, like sucking their
that it,
souls or
it
whatever,
was
that it
working,
was somewhat working, but it clearly still wasn't enough. That okay,
or not enough
she grew,
time, I guess.
yeah, she grew her hair back and was able to run a little bit at the end of the movie.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
wasn't
she was
enough
sprinting.
because it wasn't enough until like people started to really start asking questions. She's like, "Oh, we gotta go. Like,
Yeah.
we gotta leave." Yeah, man. But yeah, and then like at the end, like you get the same child narrator from the beginning where she is
Which in the
describing how like,
beginning
oh,
was kind of creepy, but in a non-creepy way. I don't know how
yeah,
to explain it.
yeah, it was kind of like from the point of view of somebody may have suffered this, but like I'll talk like, oh, like after like you go through a really bad tragedy or something like this that like it takes you a long time to maybe to get some type of normalcy back of just like, oh yeah, like
I kind of
this is
wish
something.
they would have showed like a little bit later in the future because I know they showed maybe like the next day or the next week or so, but in the narration they're like, "Oh, after what like a year or so or 2 years," they said that like some kids started to talk and then like it
Yeah.
just ends. And I'm like, "Oh, like it."
Yeah, some kids started to kind of talk and get out of that. So
To like
that's it.
get
I
back.
get that. Yeah, like that to me again, like the very suddenness and just like very like matter of fact or like really sudden and just like randomness of it all and just like just they're just gonna like you have to kind of like eventually you find your ways to cope and do ever and then all right we're back to normal now so or we're trying to get some level of normalcy so it's like I get it it's kind of like it was like it resonated with me at least like deep down but like just kind of like again I keep going back to Barbarian where like some of the things I find it hard to articulate exactly but something just I understand it like it's or I get it I get like the kind of like big overall message and themes that the movie was trying to convey it's yeah at least that's
Well,
how I felt.
maybe the whole movie is just like a very exaggerated version of the events that actually happened because if it's just being told to us by this girl or this kid, maybe it's just like what she thinks happened,
Like
and
their
so
imagine
we're
like
yeah we're
yeah.
getting like this kid's imagination of like she has some of the facts and then she's kind of just like telling us this is what happened, and so maybe that's why it's like very wacky and not everything makes sense.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm the kid
maybe it,
learned the
Very
kid
kid like.
the kid learned about what smoking meth is. So there's that. No,
but
but yeah, dude.
I wonder if that kid is actually one of the kids that. Oh no, wait! Didn't they say that they were somebody else from the school, and that's why they were like
Yeah, she
talking
was
about
another student
the
at
other
school.
kids? Okay, so
Yeah,
the narrator is not one of the 17 students.
correct. Yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm still wondering is like yeah. So in that first dream sequence, going way back to when we were talking about the weird dream sequences, one of the sequences was Justine going back to the school, going to her classroom, and all the kids were there, but with their heads down, which is like we've been saying, very well shot, creepy images. And then the one kid puts his head up, and it's Alex, and Alex has like Joker makeup on or clown makeup to, I guess, make it look like
Mhm.
Gladys.
Actually,
But it's
Gladys.
like,
Yeah,
well, why? So why is she dreaming about Gladys when she's never met her? That's the one thing I'm like. By
Or
the end of the movie, I'm like, So those scenes when you're watching it, they're creepy and you don't know what they are. And then after you finish the movie, then you're still kind of like, what were those? Because they didn't really mean anything.
Also, when she was in that dream, and I guess she heard like the knock or something, and she looked up to the ceiling.
Yeah, that's what Xavier said.
Um,
That she was like
yeah,
halfway into like the ceiling, or I don't know.
Yeah, that
yeah,
freaked
like a
me out.
weird.
Like that legit freaked me out. I was like, what
It
the
was like
hell is
peekaboo.
this? Yeah.
Like I would
Hell?
understand if maybe
Or the
maybe
people
earlier
knocking
on
on
the
her door
movie,
too.
like maybe early on in the movie, if Justine had seen this person like randomly at some point, like in like the middle of the day, but like not knowing it was anything, and then she's just having dreams of this person, and then later on we know why because oh this lady's she's a witch and she maybe has this weird power or aura about her and it made Justine dream about her, but like we didn't see anything like that. So it's just like two random dreams with this character in it and we don't know why. But yeah,
But yeah,
very very
overall
cool,
though,
interesting movie.
yeah, yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Again, like, Zach,
I
Danny,
like the
sounds like you guys
structure.
liked it too.
Yeah, I like the story structure.
Yeah, I liked it, and I did like the mix of whether intentional or not, like the mix of comedy to it in a way. Um, and then just how they put the different perspectives of like kind of like replaying the day, but seeing more and more information. I think it worked really well for,
Yeah,
especially at least for this. So like you're trying to uncover the mystery.
exactly. Yeah, it's a mystery horror. Go ahead, Zach.
Yeah, for me too. I like how you were saying at the beginning of the episode that you're not that big on horror. I'm not either. I mean,
Same.
before this movie, I want to say the only horror that I've seen from start to finish would have been It and It Chapter Two.
Okay.
The newer ones,
Fair.
If
right?
you want to
and
consider that
Yeah, the
horror,
Andy
really.
Muschietti ones. Yeah.
and probably Talk to Me because we did that on the podcast.
Oh yeah, that's
Also
right. That
talk
one
to
too.
me. Yep. Which
So
we know how to pick them, right? Like apparently we know how to pick the horror ones.
yeah, because at least like the ones that like all of those that I've seen have been fairly decent, if not a little bit better than like my expectations. So this one I also enjoyed pretty well. At the beginning, like the first little bit, I was like, okay, this is kind of dragging on a little bit. Because it was like a little slow burn at the start, and then it started to pick up once we got to the I think it was the Paul chapter. I want to say, at least for me, that's where I felt like I started to pick up. But I did enjoy it overall. Um, I mean, if I would I watch it again? I mean, probably not. Like if it showed up on I don't know on TV, even though I don't watch TV. If it showed up on TV, it'd be one of those things where okay, I'll probably watch it if there was nothing else on. Um, but I did enjoy it. I like the way that it was structured, the way that it was shot. The story was pretty interesting. I like that it felt more like a mystery than a horror, um, but it was well done.
Yeah. It's like I think that's a great way to put it. It's like like mystery with like, strong horror elements.
Suspense, but like
Yeah.
with some horror sprinkled
Yeah.
in.
Yeah, it's very suspenseful. I would say it's more suspenseful than anything else.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with that. Very cool. Yeah.
Good
You heard it
acting.
from here. Yeah.
Yeah, good
Great,
acting.
great acting.
Good good
Structure.
cinematography for a horror movie. Like these aren't normal things that appear in horror movies.
That's true. Yeah, a lot of times the horror movies are just like kind of made to. All right, we're gonna do this. We're gonna be made to just kind of scare you, but there's a lot of care. Yeah, like again, if you see Barbarian, the way some of the shots are established as also are like very deliberate. Like that they do certain things like that on purpose. It's really, yeah, it's really good. So like it'd be interesting to see like if you ever watch Barbarian, like which of the two you might like better. I think more people will end up liking Weapons over Barbarian because of just how like tonally different Barbarian gets in from one part of the movie to the next, and it's like now
Yeah,
like two totally
it's
different things.
drastic in that one.
Yeah, yeah. Danny and I have seen it, so like it's definitely drastic. So I think Weapons is more accessible as a whole, but pretty cool stuff. So, with that being said, you've heard our impression from, from the four of us. We don't have to be hypnotized by a crazy witch to go out and watch the movie. We saw it for ourselves and enjoyed it. We'd love to hear what you all thought. If you're, a big horror aficionado, where it ranks among like the modern horror movies of the past, maybe 20 years or so, and or like, hey, like I saw it randomly off of your recommendation, and I liked it, or nope, I don't like it for a whole bunch of reasons and more. Tell us what you guys thought. Reach out to us on all of our socials. Like and subscribe, Popcorn Watchlist Podcast, and tell us your thoughts. So until next time, don't open the door for Aunt Gladys, amongst other things. Thanks so much,
Especially when you're
everybody.
having hot dogs.
Especially when you're having hot dogs. Enjoy those hot dogs before
That was
you,
a Super Bowl feast, man.
But it was for a nature show.
Oh, wait a minute. Wasn't that so? It was them watching a nature show. Didn't the nature show
Cordyceps. Yep.
Yeah, it wasn't pretty much like saying like animals being controlled by
Like possessed almost.
Yeah,
Not possessed, but like
possessed.
kind of like taken over.
Yeah. Immediately when we saw it, I'm like, so is this just Last of Us? Like, is this
Message.
what the twist
Yeah.
is?
With the twist, yeah. At
But
first,
no,
we
it
thought
wasn't.
like
It wasn't. It was just like,
Yeah, it
no,
wasn't.
it's a witch.
It's straight up magic. All right, cool.
Voodoo stuff going on.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Until next time, thank you so much for tuning in. You all have a great one. And yeah, take care of each other. Bye.
See ya.
Later.
217.